The Dodge driver ran a solid red light and got plowed by the semi. It's an absolute miracle everyone made it out alive.
Oh my god.
The Chevy driver decided last second to make a U-turn in the middle of the road, which caused this insane crash. Nobody was hurt thankfully, but both cars were totaled. The Chevy driver kept looking and asking where her cell phone was after the crash. The truck driver failed to maintain his lane while turning, which resulted in the camera being sideswiped. The truck driver was at fault, and nice and apologetic. The damages came out to over $7,100. The truck driver failed to secure his loads properly, causing a huge metal object to fly out of his trailer, causing a hazardous situation for other drivers. Please ensure all loads are secured prior to towing to prevent situations like these.
It's by 5 points, like I don't know where that's at. I even searched on the maps and I couldn't find it for obvious reasons. It's like this, put a Montana. Jesus! Oh! Oh.
The dark SUV driver turned on an unprotected arrow in front of the Mustang who had the right-of-way. The SUV would be at fault, but it's interesting to note the Mustang driver did commit a hit and run. The truck driver seems to have failed to pay attention and swerves at the last moment into the ditch and almost rolled over due to the angle, but didn't. If that isn't a wake-up call for that driver, I don't know what is. The silver SUV driver turned left to make a U-turn from the rightmost lane right in front of the camera, which caused the crash. The turning driver was at fault and cited by the state trooper.
Jesus Christ!
The camera was not faulted for stopping for the bus. The damages came out to over $1,700 and the driver in the far back of this pileup was at fault. The truck failed to yield and the car in front failed to maintain their lane and control of their vehicle. Both the truck and the other car had invalid insurance. Since the camera had uninsured motorist coverage, his insurance took care of him thanks to dashcam footage. While this isn't a crash, I thought it was pretty cool to see the Easter Bunny in the back of a convertible this year. Social distancing at its best. How did you celebrate your Easter this year given the circumstances? Let me know down below. The red Volkswagen driver was clearly distracted and assumed that the person ahead of them proceeded when in reality they just inched forward. The Volkswagen driver was at fault.
I'll see if I remember to look for that. That's not.
This clip is a prime example as to why one should stay alert behind the wheel. Had the camera not been and not braked in time, an accident would have most likely occurred. For some reason, the kid thought that the camera was following him, which is why he kept pedaling faster and faster. After he crashed, he yelled, "I'm sorry," and ran. It turned out it was the camera's neighbor's kid. The kid's dad was very apologetic to the camera, and the kid was okay. This clip is a great example as to why one should secure their loads. The truck driver had some of his cargo fly out, nearly damaging other cars and potentially hurting someone. The red sedan driver failed to pay attention to both sides of oncoming traffic and instantly darted out through the cut-through right in front of the van. Had he taken a right turn and made a U-turn ahead, this could have been easily prevented. The officer pulled over the Tesla driver and ticketed him for speeding. The camera used his dash cam footage to show that his speed was actually slower than the other cars, and once he showed the DA the footage, his ticket was dismissed. Shout out to Blaze, not just for sending in this clip, but for his service at the Navy, as a firefighter, and now an EMS. Major thanks to all of our first responders who are highly exposed during these turbulent times.
New York City, fireflies in Tennessee, sipped a little shine from the paper sack.
The van driver was told to reverse and backed up straight into the camera. Thanks to the dashcam footage, the van driver was at fault 100%, despite the van driver saying that the camera, quote-unquote, intentionally hit him.